Yes.
By the way,
Miller.
I reckon from now on, we have to start our podcast Okaraz.
What's that?
G'day, mates. Like that. Aussie. Down under. G'day, mates. Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Down Under.
How you going, cunts? Just straight up.
How you going? Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Down Under. He got overcharged for a hat today. Like,
Worth it.
ripped off.
Worth it, though.
How much did that hat cost you?
The team plus one.
$50 for a 49ers hat. $50. Then I went online to the same store and they had a hat, the same hat, for $22.
Thanks for telling me earlier.
$22. He got ripped off by 28 smackaroos.
I'll be going back to the shop tomorrow.
And just in traditional fashion,
Just snip at that, loop it, play it back, set as your ringtone.
we are the Mukbang fantasy podcast.
If you look up the word niche in the dictionary, we are definitely there right now.
Do you reckon there is a single other show on YouTube that do fantasy football and mukbangs and that are from Australia?
I will search it.
I guarantee you there will be nothing there. The stuff you come up will probably be extremely creepy. Like fantasy football, what's going to come up? Nothing?
Something called the Super Bowl mukbang.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Watching the Super Bowl and having a snack.
Vegan mukbang.
Ooh.
With a pro-vegan football player.
A lot of the Tennessee Titans players are actually vegan.
You know who's a really big vegan? Cam Newton.
Is he?
You watch the Panthers equivalent of their Hard Knock show?
No, I haven't seen it.
They go watch Hobbs and Shaw, the movie. Cam has to get the popcorn with no butter. And the rookie next to him can't believe his ears.
Really?
Yeah. He's getting the nachos and he's like, I'm getting no butter. Because I'm vegan.
Cam Newton supporting the vegan movement.
He is.
Are you a vegan?
I'm not a vegan.
Am I a vegan?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, with the vegan meal here. I'm basically Cam Newton.
Yeah.
We have a lot of similarities.
Little known fact, Cam Newton actually goes out on the field and starts eating the grass.
Yes. Do you reckon Cam Newton and I have similarities? We both have a similar skin tone.
Let's go through the checklist.
Okay.
He's like 6'8".
6'7". Yeah.
He has hair.
I have some.
That's true. Those are very little bits.
Very, very little bits you can see around.
He can play football.
I can...
Not online.
Okay, I'm very good at Madden.
No, you're not. I beat you yesterday.
Okay, yep.
Convincingly.
Anything else? We both have fit as fuck rigs.
Yeah.
We are both, like, pro athletes.
And he's an outlandish dresser.
Correct.
Like, the photo I saw from the first episode of their Hard Knock series was him looking like my grandmother.
I did buy a pair of Doc Martens today. Is that outlandish?
No, not at all, because I'm all about the expensive footwear. All about it.
So what you're telling me is I'm kind of like Cam Newton, but slightly different.
Yeah, some would say better.
I would say better. I would say the improved version of Cam Newton.
We've got a series coming. Cam Newton 2.0.
Oh,
I'm about it.
Title, Cam Newton, Fantasy Footballers Down Under, Cam Newton 2.0.
Can't wait for the...
It's going to be great.
Can't wait for the Combine video we have.
Oh.
Gonna see you on the bench, repping 225.
I reckon I'll be just as good as Tom Brady was.
How many reps did he have at his Combine?
0.
Donuts.
I will also have donuts. Okay, today we are going to do deep sleepers. Not just your middle of the round sleepers, we're doing deep sleepers. So
we're talking hibernation.
10th round and later. So you've probably already stacked your starters. You might have grabbed a quarterback. You might have grabbed a tight end. We're talking deep sleepers. Players that you look for.
You have to take a swing on.
Players you have to take a swing on. Players that might not necessarily work out. They might not be on your team by the end of the year, but they also might win you championships. And that's the thing with deep sleepers.
The hope. That's what you want.
These deep sleepers are players that you hope can win you weeks and win you championships. I'm not going to say pick up a backup fucking... I'm not going to say pick up a like third string receiver that isn't a deep threat and it's going to get 2 catches for... No.
Hi, my name's Mecole Hardman.
Yeah. I'm really not going to put in players that are going to be there because they're going to be good if there's an injury. These are players that have value
and potential
in their current role.
Yeah.
So,
and the ADP versus their value was pretty good.
Correct. So
you're hoping just to take a big old swing, knock it out the park, and help you win that championship.
But first,
we're getting hit with a quick question.
Quick question.
Oh boy, I love a quick question.
I've got one for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Now what we're going to do is we've got Fantasy Football Calculator open.
Yes, we do.
And I'm going to hit you with an ADP question.
Oh boy.
Would you rather? The would you rather question.
I love these.
Lamar Miller at 507. Still going at 507. Or Sony Michel at 407.
That's tough. That's very tough.
I think it is tough. Sony Michel, what are we thinking? He's going to be the starter. He's shown flashes. I'm kind of rising on Sony Michel a little bit.
Reports out of camp is that he's really taken to being a pass-catching back.
Yes, I saw that.
Which is a good thing.
Not good for James White.
No. It's the battle of Sony Michel or Lamar Miller. Lamar, because that's the feeling you have when you draft him. I would probably take Sony Michel.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's going to be very good this year. I think that increase in the pass catching is going to help, especially in a.
I think that might just be hype. I think that might just be hype. I don't really.
Coach speak. It's guaranteed.
I don't really believe in coach speak. So you're going to go with Lamar. You're going to go with.
I'm going to go with Sony Michel.
Okay. What do we say we're doing today? Deep sleepers.
Deep sleepers.
Now the first deep sleeper we have here, right, is a player that this is the only player from mine that he has value, but more so revolving around someone else. And what I like to do in my drafts is, if you guys still have kickers in your draft, don't draft them.
Leave it blank.
Leave the kicker thing. Draft an extra wide receiver. Draft an extra running back. Leave the kickers blank.
Yep.
The day before the first week, you might have had an injury, something like that. You can pick up a kicking drop player, or you just drop the worst player on your team leading into week 1. This player is the person that I'm most likely to drop before week 1 if nothing happens.
So he's on the bubble.
He's on the bubble. He's a player that has extreme fantasy value if things go his way, but also a player that probably doesn't have great value, especially early if things don't go his way.
All right,
he's a running back.
He's a running back?
From Buffalo. He's going at 1107.
Oh boy, it is the eternal one. Oh, it's not.
It's Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary.
Going at 1107. If LaShawn McCoy goes down or gets cut before the season starts.
Change your words. When
LaShawn McCoy gets cut or goes down, Devin Singletary is locked and loaded to be a workhorse back.
Steps into a role that's fit for him. Right there.
And with the young and improving Buffalo offense, Singletary being a rookie, working with Josh Allen, who is also a threat on his feet, I think it works well. And I think Singletary has really good value, especially in that position in the draft where you can just say, I'm going to take him. I'm not going to draft a kicker. It's just that extra slot I've got on the bench. And if nothing changes and Sean McCoy looks like locked and loaded to be the starter going to week 1, you can just let him go.
Yeah, I think for Singletary, you have to really worry about the potential benefit in the effort for, both of them. Mm-hmm. Frank Gore and LaShawn McCoy. If they have a good year, he's buried third in that depth chart. It's going to be tough for him to break through.
And that's why I say don't waste a slot of your roster on him. If I'm only taking Singletary, if I'm set on not taking a kicker, I don't want to pick up someone and lose my 11th round pick that I could take someone else, because if players going in that region, around that 1107 region, I would rather take, if I was going to take a kicker, Anthony Miller. I would rather take James Washington. I would rather take Kiki QT. I would rather take Jimmy like those sort of players are players I would rather take than Singletary if I knew if I had to fill a roster on draft day.
That's big for you because you don't take kickers. In any of our drafts we've done.
But if I had to take kicker, Singletary would usually be the person I wouldn't take. But if you're all chilled not to take a kicker and you can pick one up the day of just the day before week 1 starts, Singletary is the guy that I'm looking for.
That's a good pickup. I share your
share the
thoughts
view
on that. Yeah, no, I'm I'm all aboard the hype train for Singletary. I'm really hoping he gets his turn. Because I think if he does... There were flashes of brilliance in the preseason game I watched.
There was.
He's a fighter. Fights for the extra yard.
Actually, a couple of those rookie running backs looked really good. Like David Montgomery looked awesome. And I saw... What I did notice in the preseason was Ballage and Kenyon Drake basically split time, but after the first drive, it was all Ballage still working with the first team offense.
So you reckon there's been a shift in there? And for the ADPs, you want to hope there's a
Ballage
shift.
still going after the 10th.
Yeah. And where's Drake going? Fifth
Drake's
round?
going in the 5th.
Yeah. You'd hate to get Drake and then have them change it up. Wouldn't that just absolutely...
I'd hate to get Drake and they score the same.
That would be a kick in the teeth. It really would.
Would you take both?
Would I handcuff? Why not? Why
You
not?
would?
Yeah, yeah.
You take both?
Because then when one inevitably gets above the other one, I can cut the stud and the dud. I can cut the dud.
I think what I'd do is, if I was going to draft both of them,
Yep.
I would wait for one to break out 1 week
And then trade
and
him.
trade him.
Yeah. We've got some gullible people in our league.
I would, if Ballage breaks off some good runs in the first week, if Kenyon Drake catches a couple good balls, goes deep with one, I'm flicking him off straight away.
That's a strategy to win a championship.
Like, I think you can... Yeah,
Play your cards, don't hold them.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
All right.
Who you got?
Who have I got? Now, my app wasn't working, so I'm going to get you to get the roundup for me. You're going to be looking for...
Hold on.
Yep.
Where is he?
I'd say late.
Later.
I'd say late. He's a tight end.
A tight end.
Yeah, he's a tight end.
What colour are tight ends here? Yellow.
Yellow. He's a tight end.
I think I've gone too far.
I think you have.
I've definitely gone too far. There.
There he is.
13-11.
That qualifies as a sleeper.
That's deep. And
this bloke loves a sleep because he's really old.
you said tight end. And the thing about tight ends is people tend to waste those 4th or 5th round, even as high as people are taking Kelsey in the 1st.
Silly.
This is a player you can get in the 13th and...
But has the potential to give you the same amount of work, same amount of yards, same amount of production.
Probably not the same amount of points on the end of the year, but the difference between those and then who you're missing out on in the first round, I would take this guy in my roster all day over Kelsey.
Yeah.
Who is it?
All right, hear me out.
How old is he?
He's 36.
Wow.
Carolina is great. Football is great. Greg Olsen's feet are not great. They're the thing holding him back, and in football, it turns out they're the things that you need the most.
Yes.
However, Greg Olsen, for me, has great value because when he is on the field and he is healthy, the bloke scores.
He's a baller.
He is. He is. So I've had Olsen before. I had him in the year that he went down midway through the season.
Yeah.
He was going really well. He's given me RB2 performances, touch of almost RB1. And then he went down, I think it's with the Jones fracture. There's a bone in his foot, and it's 2 years in a row he's done it. But if he stays healthy, you can't go past Olsen.
Do you know what I love about Olsen?
What?
It's the fact that they've got McCaffrey there, who will inevitably end up with the most targets on the season.
Yep.
And then their 2 receivers are just young, and they're not proven to be able to handle an extreme workload.
They are not.
DJ Moore came in last year as a rookie and played well, but he's been thrusted into this like number 1 role
by default.
By default,
everyone's kind of
they've all left.
Left.
And Curtis Samuel he's more of a burner. He's one of those dudes that I would rather take than DJ Moore simply because he's going later. But the fact that those 2 receivers are unproven and they're probably not going to have the workload.
Who's Cam Newton going to look to?
He's tight end. He's going to look to the guy that's always been there.
And he knows what he's doing.
Correct.
Because he's done it so often. Look for Olsen to give you reliability, consistency. You won't be it won't be tight end 1 performances every week, but there is the potential, depending on the matchup and depending on how they play him and how they manage his injuries. Very solid option, consistent option, which is what I'm going to be looking for, especially because I'm not one to draft a tight end so high. I like a mid to late round tight end, try and get some value and kind of take a swing, which is what the name of the show is. So he ticks all the boxes for me.
I tend to agree. I tend to think The safety of him is amazing, and the fact that he can, between the 20s, he's not a red zone. He's not just a red zone threat like a lot of big tight ends are.
He can stretch the field.
He works between the 20s.
Yep.
He's a safety blanket for Cam Newton, and Cam Newton's accuracy has gone through the roof, like in the last couple of years, especially since Christian McCaffrey's been there as another safety blanket. So if he stays healthy, I think he has tight end 1 potential, and in the 13th round, you can't go wrong with that.
100%.
And we do like a late tight end here. So what do we got so far? We had Greg Olsen, we had Devin
Singletary. You're up.
I am up here. I'm going to go someone, again, that's coming sort of in the 10th round. So this isn't sleeping super deep, but this guy's going at 10:07.
He's dozing.
He's dozing. People are dozing on him. He's a bloke that I take in pretty much all of my drafts. And when you're in round 10, if you're going with late quarterbacks and late tight ends, you can get this bloke as your like 5th, even 6th receiver, depending on how deep you go, running back early.
All right, where are we traveling? Which team are we going to?
We are traveling to Pennsylvania.
Excellent.
We are traveling to the land of Philadelphia. The land of Carson Wentz, who loves and has amazing deep ball accuracy, to one of the best deep ball burners the NFL has seen in the last decade.
Coincidentally, they brought in someone who loves to catch deep passes. Who would have thought?
Deshaun Jackson.
D-Jax.
Deshaun Jackson he's one of the greatest deep threats in the NFL.
The best.
In the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's come back into an offense with a quarterback who is extremely accurate with the deep ball, and with a team that likes to go down the field. Really likes to go down the field. He was not good. He was not good in Tampa.
He was in the first 4 weeks when Jameis Winston wasn't playing because Fitzpatrick loved to throw it deep. So he's probably come back and gone, I've seen this before.
Yeah. I think Deshaun Jackson, as a receiver that's going to be your 5th, your 6th option, he's not a start for me for the start of the year, but he's a player that in the 10th round, if he's your wide receiver 5, to have a player that can genuinely blow up weeks. He might have 4 catches for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. He can win you a week. And from a 5th receiver, it's not often you can get players that can win you weeks when you're that late in the draft.
No, normally when you're down that far, it's a lot of a stretch.
Correct.
You're really just kind of hoping, plucking things out and saying, well, I really hope you do well for me.
But with D-Jax, he's guaranteed to have those weeks. And if you start him on the right weeks, it's not often you can get a 10th round pick that can blow up on your team and literally he can win you playoff games.
Yep.
He can win you weeks, he can win you playoff games, and he can win important weeks for your team, especially bye weeks. He's a really good bye week slot in. And the thing I love about him most is he's playing on a good offense. Deep ball threats can tend to be really inconsistent when they're playing on poor offenses. But when you go to a team that has Carson Wentz, who for me is in the top 6 quarterbacks in the league, I think his value just kind of goes up a little bit, and I think it's a value pick at 10:07.
It's ascending. Who knows? By the time season rolls around, he might not be a deep sleeper anymore. It could be,
Okay, let me tell you these players going around Deshaun Jackson. You tell me who you'd rather have.
Yes, no. All right, here we go.
Deshaun Jackson, DK Metcalf.
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson, D.D. Westbrook.
Deshaun Jackson. Hit it.
I like D.D. I definitely would take Deshaun Jackson ahead of DK Metcalf.
Yep.
D.D. I would almost take ahead, but I'm not quite. That would be a coin flip for me.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson, Emmanuel Sanders.
Based on the quarterback situation, still D-Jax.
I would take D-Jax there just because I'm a believer in Cortland Sutton, and I also think that Denver will be terrible. D-Jax or Devin Funchess?
Devin Funchess.
I know you love Devin Funchess. I would probably take D-Jax.
Is it close in your mind? Because for me, it's pretty close.
The answer is no. But we can transition this into your second deep sleeper,
which just happens to be
Devin
Funchess.
At 11:03, Devin Funchess goes. So he's going almost a whole round later than Deshaun Jackson. Why do you like Devin Funchess?
Well, we speak about wide receivers that can potentially win you a week.
Yes.
That's Devin Funchess. T.Y. Hilton is not going to give you a massive score every week. They just can't do it because teams are going to cotton on to the fact that Andrew Luck loves to throw to T.Y. Hilton.
And T.Y. doesn't score a lot of touchdowns.
He doesn't. He's a yard person, not a touchdown person.
Correct.
And Rowan will confirm that with me. Last time I said something ill of the Colts, he ripped me one.
On the show or to him?
To me. To me, he messaged me and told me how much of an idiot I was.
Was it from on the show?
It was on the show. When I said T.Y. was a PPR machine, he then promptly told me that was incorrect.
Ooh. For me, T.Y. is more of a... I think your foot is fucking with the mic.
Oh, shit.
I hope the mic's still working. That would be brutal if it wasn't.
We are now a mime podcast. Just some of these ones.
T.Y. for me is not... He's not a touchdown monster. He scores that 6 or 7 touchdowns a year. But he does rake in the yardage. So for me, Funchess has his value in the end zone.
Mm-hmm. Which is where I see him getting his points and where I see him being a game changer. Again, for those people going around him, he's the better option for me. He's going to be the one who puts up more consistent numbers. He's going to be, like we spoke about the safety blanket for Cam Newton in Carolina. Funchess, for me, could potentially be Luck's safety blanket. Yes, they've got Ebron and Doyle, but Funchess is a big presence, especially in that mid-range game. It's huge.
There's always 2 players, Funchess and Moncrief, that always go around the same time. They always struggle to pick who I want. And Moncrief has been winning out. And here is why. Andrew Luck is a very good quarterback.
Agreed.
Andrew Luck can make not so great players better. They have 3 above average tight ends in Indy. Mo Alley Cox, Jack Doyle, and Eric Ebron. All big-bodied tight ends. And I'm just scared that when it gets into the red zone, they take away from Devin Funchess. I don't see Devin Funchess being a yardage threat. I feel like his value is in the end zone, and I am worried that those players are going to take away that value. So other than Marlon Mack for me, I feel like Indy's going to be a great offense. They're going to have some really good fantasy scorers, but I am way too scared to touch a lot of their players.
Yeah.
Would you? But do you have that? This is the thing. It's the 11th round.
Yeah, look, it's a concern, but for me, it's not that much of a concern because by the 11th round, I should already have at least 5 wide receivers. So I'm looking for...
You would say that he would be your 4th or 5th or 6th?
4th or 5th or 6th. If he's my 6th, I'm slightly less worried. But if he's my 4th wide receiver...
I would be worried.
If I've gone running back, and maybe thrown in one of the elite tight ends or a quarterback, if he's like my 4th receiver or 3rd receiver, then I'm worried. Really worried.
Yeah, I think if he's your 5th or 6th receiver, I think Devin Funchess can be a value simply for the fact that you can hold him on your bench, really work out where Andrew Luck's going with the ball in the red zone,
and make moves accordingly.
Correct. If Funchess isn't getting touches, if he's not getting a look in the red zone, he's almost drop worthy relatively early into the season. Mm-hmm. He might even the thing is, if you look 2 weeks in, and if you get Funchess, you're gonna have to watch the games because if it gets 2 weeks in and he's not really getting a look in, he's not getting those red zone looks, you can still use the draft capital that you've used to get him to kind of palm him off to someone else and say he was an 11th round pick and, he's got that draft. You got that draft capital to kind of move him maybe even for like a Moncrief if he doesn't start firing early or,
Or potentially by the time that rolls around, one of those rookie wide receivers who's maybe been
Nikhil
moved up
Harry.
due to injury. Nicole Hardman. Hollywood Brown.
Correct.
It's one of those ones. So, it's a play-by-ear kind of situation you're in. But for me...
The value's there.
The value's still there.
Alright. Who have I got now? Who did I say that I had? This is unfortunate for me.
Well, I've got the...
Oh, yeah. So, I'm going later. Another wide receiver for me. We've moved on from your wide receiver. 11th round, 11:07 for Devin Funchess. The guy I'm taking goes a lot later. 14:10 for my go. So we're sleeping deep here. This is a solid
He's been in a
14-hour night.
Coma.
He has been in a coma. People are in a coma when it comes to him. And these two receivers on the same team, one going at 14:10, who I'm talking about now, and one who we've spoken about on this show before, going at 14:09.
14:09 a Domino's Pizza.
14:09 is a Domino's Pizza. We are not talking about
We're not
Domino's
talking about
Pizza.
Domino's Pizza.
We are talking about the Domino's Pizza's cousin.
The garlic bread.
The garlic bread. Everyone likes it. And garlic bread is good everywhere.
Can't dispute.
Kenny Stills. at 14.10, I think is super valuable, especially at the start of the season. I think Fitzpatrick's obviously going to get the starting job in Miami. Fitzpatrick loves to throw the ball deep. Kenny Stills loves to catch a deep ball. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's your 14th round pick. If it does work out,
you've hit the jackpot.
You've hit a jackpot with Kenny Stills, and you can get some serious value either in your lineup if Fitzpatrick continues to stay on the field, or if it looks like Josh Rosen is going to come into the team at some point.
It's no big loss.
You can palm Stills off. You can bring in someone a little bit more consistent, and there's your value in your 14th round pick.
It's almost criminal how low he is.
It's criminal that the two receivers from the same team that are the 1 and 2 are going in the 14th round almost back to back.
Is that indicative of their ability or indicative of how bad that team is overall?
They're not that bad. They went 7 and 9 last year. They weren't terrible. They had the same record as the Browns, I believe. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe both teams are 7 and 9.
Yeah, but difference is no one cares about the Dolphins.
Correct, and that's the thing is someone has to catch the ball. They've got a quarterback who loves to stretch the field, who loves to throw deep balls. Someone's got to catch them. Kenny Stills is my number one target late in drafts, and I love grabbing him everywhere purely for the value that I was talking in. You can trade him off if he does well. You can cut him because it's no big loss, but he is the second target.
Yeah.
And I would definitely still rather have him over Devontae Parker because I hate Devontae Parker, and Devontae Parker is a Domino's pizza. Because like we always say, he seems like a great idea. He's the number one receiver.
And then he's not.
But then he sucks. And then just like when you get a Domino's pizza, it always disappoints.
And you know what rescues that? A garlic bread.
A garlic bread. It's, thank God we got the garlic bread. Thank God. Because the Domino's pizza, it just didn't hit the spot.
It was trash.
Have you seen, I don't know, this is a little bit off fantasy football topic, Domino's, and as you can probably tell, we're in Australia, so this has probably already been a thing in America for years, or it's not a thing.
Is it the pizza tracker?
Yeah, no, it's the pizza camera. When you order online now, at Domino's, right, they have a camera thing above where the pizza comes out of the oven, so you can see what your pizza looks like before it's been cut up, and that thing tells the chefs whether the pizza they've made is good enough to go out.
Really?
Yeah. So if it's not to the standard of the thing, it won't let you deliver it and you gotta make a new one.
That's brilliant.
How does that work?
We're definitely in the 21st century now.
Yeah. Devontae Parker might be good this year because Domino's are keeping track of what he's doing.
I'll be looking out for that. Devontae Parker can. I like it.
Alright, let's move on. Your third one, our last deep sleeper of this episode. I forgot.
What if I told you that you could pick up a starting running back
A starting running back
in the last round of the draft?
in the last round of the draft.
You tell me I'm pulling your leg.
I don't even know who you're talking about, so...
Well, look at my hat. That's a start.
I don't think he's a starter.
I think he'll be the starter.
I don't even think he's going that late, to be honest.
Nah, he is, 100%.
He's going
Where is he going?
in...
We're not saying the name, but where is he going?
I've got to find it. It actually
Because
seems...
I'm pretty sure he's going after
After we've already spoken about
after the injury one, after the one we signed.
it?
He's definitely above Colonel Mustard. And my name's Jeff Wilson.
Who do you reckon they know who we're talking about yet?
You
I
have-
hate this app. I literally saw his name before. There it is. 11-12.
That's dropping. Definitely dropping.
11-12.
Anyway, it's Matt Breida.
Matty Breida.
Matt Breida. The backfield situation in San Francisco is so confusing. Not even John Lynch knows who the starter is.
At least they
Shanahan doesn't know who the
they
starter
trust Breida.
is. They do. They do. Which is why he is going to be such a steal late in your draft.
12th round, basically. You'd take
Pretty
him.
much. Absolutely. I've been taking him in a few of our drafts.
Would you take him as your third running back?
Not as my third. I'd be looking to already have 3 by that stage. So I get a lot of my sleepers are like positional based. It's situational.
Yeah.
So
If you got depth, it's a good guy. It's a good guy to grab.
if you want an extra, potential star in your team, take Matt Breida.
Matt Breida, 11-12. The only issue I have with that team
Is we're too good, I know.
is that you guys don't produce good running backs. Like ever.
We had Frank Gore once.
Once. A long time ago.
Yep. And then it's
A
kind of been
long
a big
It's been a shambles.
It's been a void of the unknown since then.
Correct. It hasn't been great.
Let's go through some history. Who do we have?
I don't even know.
At Frank Gore. Then we transitioned
Your
into
team.
Then we transitioned into an abyss of rubbish. We had Alfred Morris for a bit.
You did have Alfred Morris.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
And then we decided let's sign every running back.
Carlos
in the league.
Hyde.
Had Carlos Hyde. He was good.
All right. I think Carlos Hyde's been your best running back in the last 7 years, probably.
I would agree with you because it's been an absolute shit show ever since.
Correct. And now I think with Tevin Coleman coming in, he's never been a proven starter. He's never been a proven workhorse. So I do think Breida has standalone value with what he's got right now.
Jerick McKinnon
is, who knows, he probably won't play this year.
So, which is contributing factors in why I think Breida is going to be an absolute steal in your draft.
My only issue is with more news about McKinnon coming out in the coming weeks, I feel that Breida's value might actually go up. I feel like his ADP will go up.
As of right now, August the 10th.
Yes.
He's a sleeper. Until otherwise. He's a value.
The unfortunate thing is this show is not going up on August the 10th.
I know, but I'm timestamping this so they know when I'm saying it. And if tomorrow morning it comes out that Breida's injured or that Coleman's going to get the starting job, I will eat humble pie and I will retract my statement.
So, our deep sleepers this year, we'll just recap them. I had D-Jax.
Yep.
I had Devin Singletary.
Yep.
And I had Kenny Stills.
Yes, and I had Greg Olsen.
Greggy Olsen.
Devin Funchess.
Devin Funchess.
And Matt Breida.
Matty Breida. So, some good value 10th round, 11th round, 12th round, 14th round. We had a little bit from every round. I do believe all those players have standalone value without any players going down, except for Singletary.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, though, guys, please, if you can avoid it, don't draft kickers. Draft an extra player. These deep sleepers have value when you can stack multiple of them on your team.
If you get all of our sleepers, you're winning a championship this year.
100%. One of them, two of them are going to hit, and that's what happens. With your draft, you don't win at the draft.
You set the foundation at your draft.
And having players that you'll probably... Most people end up with, 30 to 40% of their drafted team on their roster at the end of the year?
I think, I checked this 2 years ago. Out of all my players I drafted, I ended the season with 3.
Yeah, so you don't really win at the draft, but
yeah.
These players can win weeks and they can hit. And don't get me wrong, some of them might not hit. But if you get the ones that do hit, you win weeks, you win championships, and you have value on your team that you can trade up, and your draft capital becomes high. So if you can trade a 14th round pick 3 weeks in for a guy that went in the 8th...
Yep. Win.
It's
You're
a
winning.
win.
Call it Charlie Sheen. We are going to keep track of these sleepers throughout the season. I think we're going to be bringing you weekly
updates. Weekly updates on sleepers.
It'd be rude not to. Just a quick little segment.
I agree.
And we might pick three players for the week that we suggest that you have a good look at, and if they're available in your league, definitely have
Well, we
them.
will be doing the weekly waiver wire pickup show, which will be intertwined with a couple of other things. We will be doing... I wanted to do 3 shows a week.
Yep.
Coming whilst the season's on. There'll probably be a recap show. We'll go through the players, who sucked, who did great, who did drop.
Yep, and then we'll have a preview show.
We will have a preview show coming up, and we'll also have that will also include the waiver wire pickup show,
Mm-hmm.
and then Saturday show, maybe a Friday show.
Yep.
It's going to have our fun segments on it. Our would you rathers, our really good fun segments going into the week, really getting you pumped for the fantasy week.
With the boys.
We will
With
have
the
plenty
boys.
of guests on this show. A lot of the
This
guys from our
spot
league.
Is reserved for Josh, who decided to see his girlfriend tonight and not do a podcast.
Who picks the misses over the boys?
I'll tell you someone. Someone who's not going to win the league.
Someone who... What did he finish last year?
Last.
And I wonder what is going to happen when you pick the misses over fantasy football, who should be the misses. Fantasy football should be the misses. Then you're going to come last.
I'm living the life. There's only one thing you should... Stay single and you will just have more fun in fantasy football.
Single equal... Oh, shit.
Oh,
I guess
no.
I'm not winning a championship.
No, you're not. I am. Because what's more important, women or football? If you said women, you're a damn liar. Straight up.
This has been a good episode.
It has. It's been fun.
Some really good deep sleepers for you guys. We really do hope you enjoyed it. Do you reckon they should like?
You should like, subscribe, smack the button, chuck a comment in. Who's your sleeper of the year?
Then turn the bell on.
Do turn the bell on.
Because we do lots of live mock drafts. We're doing one literally right after we film this show, which you will have missed out on if you are not subscribed with the notifications turned on. Would you want to miss out on a live mock draft?
No way, they're too much fun.
They are way too much fun. A lot of yelling, a lot of disappointment when our mates take our picks.
And a lot of people entering the room because we still haven't got a lock on that door.
We don't have a setup. This is our setup. This is podcast on the couch with the boys.
I'm looking forward to the studio tour.
Oh, when we do a real big studio.
Just going to grab the camera, spin in a circle and come back down again. It'll be worth it though.
We hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you very much for watching. We are the Fantasy Footballers Down Under. What did we start this episode with? G'day, mate.
How you going?
We hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you very much.
We'll be back next time. He won't. We will. See you when I'm looking at you.
Poor Antonio Brown.
Kill it. So, there, mate. Dun, 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 dun. I'm fading.